Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Force Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the map Town of Turmoil 2. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. But before we go ahead and do so, let's slow it down just a little bit so we don't miss any of that juicy early action. Starting off with Team 1 up here to the northwest section of the map, ending with Team 2 in the southeast section of the map. Starting off with the frontline player of Team 1, it is Maximus XXX. He is going first land as a Seraphim. He is a 1500 and he is in glow-in-the-dark green. To his northwest here in Imperial Gray, we have the player of Cobra Commander going first land as a Cybran. He is an 800. To his north in Laddish Red Pink, we have the player of Virus going first land as an Aeon. Hopefully he does not spread a virus to any of our other players. And again, he is an Aeon as an 1100. To his west in Ruby Red, we have the player of Book of Guns going first land as a UEF in Ruby Red. He is an 1100. In the northwest section of Team 1's main base area, we have Sergeant Red. He is not in red, sadly. He's going first air as an Aeon. He is a 1200 rated player, and he is in light oak tan. And last but not least, for Team 1 here, just kind of next to player of Sergeant Red, we have needs more Mantis. That is definitely true. We need more Mantis in our lives. He is going first land as a Cybran, very fitting for his name. He is a 1000 rated player, and again, he is in Barbie Pink. So for Team 1 side of things, for their racial makeup, we have one Seraphim, which would be Maximus. We have 2 Aeon, 2 Cybran, and 1 UEF being Book of Guns. So they have all of the races here for Team 1 on the northern side of the map. Starting off with Team 2's frontline most player in Royal Purple, we have Quasor. I think that's how you say that. Maybe it's French. Going first land as a Cybran. He is a 1400 rated player, and again, he is a Cybran in Royal Purple. To his southeast, near the water over here in Tropical Ocean Blue, we have Chromatic Scale going first air as an Aeon, probably second air as well. That's kind of how most games end up coming to pass. And again, he is a 900 rated player as an Aeon. To his northeast, we have already on the left drone upgrade here at not even 2 minutes in, is Once Handsome. Hopefully he can become handsome once again. He's going first land, second air as a UEF. He is an 800. In the southeast here, we have Orb going first land, second air as a 2000 rated player in this game, the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game overall. He is going UEF. He is an orange, the color orange, and again, he is a 2000 rated player of Orb. To his east in Chevy Crimson, we have the player of Blarg 6516 going first air as a UEF and building a bunch of P-Gens. He is a 1100 rated player, and again, he is a UEF. To his northeast in Emerald Green, the last player on Team 2 to mention, already on the move here going north, we have Kahuna Tuna. That is a very fun name to say, Kahuna Tuna. Let me know down in the comments if you think so as well. He is going first land as a Cybran, probably second air, usually because he is in the rear guard. And again, he is a 1000 rated player, Emerald Green as a Cybran. So for Team 2 side of things, we have 3 UEF, 2 Cybran, 1 Aeon, no Seraphim for Team 2, which means they do not have access to Zooies, they don't have access to Authams, they do not have access to Chickens, or, of course, the dreaded Awasha Bomber. Let's go ahead and take a look at Reclaim. It's still on the map because our players are hungry for mass, and they are not going to wait. 37,000 mass in the form of Reclaim currently on the map. Probably, maybe it was even 38,000. Let's just stick with 37 for now. That is a heck of a lot of Reclaim. 3,000 per player, a little bit over that. Juicy amount for our players to scoop up, and it does look like both the left and right drone have about finished here for Once Handsome, and once he finishes, I will turn this back up to 0 speed. There it goes, and we will see what will be happening here with our players in this game. This game is a little bit under an hour, so, you know, feel free to grab a drink, pause, go to the bathroom, do all the stuff you got to do, sit down, enjoy, watch it. Nice, relaxed casting after our Christmas and holiday break. Of course, we do have New Year's coming up, so hopefully everybody will enjoy that time of year as well. I sure will with the extra days off of work. We do have, it does look like movement to the east here for Team 2, trying to grab at least the southeastern section of the map. Same kind of thing here for Team 1, but it does look like Team 2 is a little bit more emphasis in going in that direction. We have Team 1, I mean, it's starting to shape up, but it's more like Team 1 is more focused on shoring up this eastern side, considering this is where one of the players is sitting, whereas Team 2 has a player sitting over here in the middle. And I don't know how often I see sand in FAF. I mean, I do see it in like games that are made in terms of like, you know, Town of Turmoil settings, and usually they're by water, but rarely do I see just the sand, you know, oh, what is that called in golf? There's a term for the sand, not the sand pits. There's a word for it. Somebody will let me know down in the comments, but I know there is a word for it. Anyway, we do have units dropping off here to the western side of Team 1's front line. It is chromatic scale dropping off a couple of engineers. Sorry, Team 2 dropping it off. Team 1, we have the units coming out here from Needs More. Mantis is trying to drop right on top of those engineers. There is some interceptors nearby. Will they get the drop off? Yes, they will. There are Mantis on board, which will give a nice advantage here to Team 1's Need More Mantis. And again, this hasn't even started producing units, unfortunately. And there are bombers nearby to help deal with some of those engineers and units, but they have moved out of the way. Fortunately, this facility does stay online. These units need to keep running around, or they will be tagged by those bombers. The other engineer is down. The Medusa is still online. This might end up falling out. We'll see. Units cannot be built. It's just struggling to continue building. It does look like it will stay online, though, with one Mantis left. Unfortunately, this facility is severely wounded and damaged. Mantis is nearby with his comm, so really looking great for that drop. It might be able to hold for a little bit, be more of an annoyance thing, but with only 600 hit points left, not really going good here for Team 2's drop from chromatic scale. In terms of mass points, which I totally forgot to mention, there aren't really a lot. There's a decent section of them in the southwest and northeast corners of the map, and a couple of them in the middle, but honestly, there's not really a lot of mass. Each player does start with 8 core mechs, so that does, you know, severely boost up their eco, kind of like a lot of the different versions of dual gap. You start with 8 mexes, so it does, you know, you get offset it. Are there a lot of mexes on the map in terms of, you know, all around, or there are a lot of mexes in your base and not really a whole lot to grab after that. So eco will kind of scale quickly, kind of not. The early scaling where it's like 2 2 2 2 2 because of all the T1 mexes, that kind of gets diminished. But the, you know, upgrade to T2, upgrade to ringed T2 mexes, upgrade to 3, those will scale a lot quickly because you're forced to, essentially. And everyone is. It's not like some players have to or not. It's essentially most players are focused on getting those mixes up, getting at least a little bit more territory, but it's not really that much of an issue early on. It's more of an issue later on, of course, as we get to, you know, 400, 500 mass per second. We do have Once Handsome on a T2 upgrade here in the little sand pit dune, right? Sand dune, maybe. We do have Maximus trying to establish a front line on this middle causeway here between him and his mirror of Quasor. I always want to say croissant, but it's not how that works. Anyway, Team 2's chromatic scale has been able to drop on this western side and has been able to establish some sort of front line, but it's not looking super great. It is starting to kind of, you know, bulge out a little bit, but I would like to see maybe a naval facility online, which we do see coming out from him and pumping out a couple. Gone straight. Never mind. Not even 8 minutes in. Gone T2. Go for cruisers. Let's go for engineers. Okay, then cruisers maybe. Got to lock out the skies here on that western pond section of the map. There are a couple of hidey holes here on the northeast side of the map right here, and sorry, the east side and the west side. The players can hide in there, but we'll see if they decide to do so or not. We do see a large contingent of units fighting on Team 2's side of the map between Kahuna Tuna I love saying that name. I don't know what it is. And Maximus Triple X. It does look like Maximus needs to line up his forces more like this versus like this. That way more units can engage versus the, little bit of units on the edge. It does look like it's more of a stalemate. Not really a lot of progress between either team here in the middle. No one's died so far at 8 minutes. I haven't missed anything like that. But of course, something can surprise me. It is my first cast back after holiday, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. It's been, 4 days? 5 days? I recorded the last time I recorded was on the Friday before. So today is Tuesday of recording. Wednesday will be released, so Monday, Sunday, Saturday. It's been like 3 or 4 days. Yeah. So, forgive me if I'm a little slow on the uptick here today. I'm also recovering from, driving, there and back and long holidays, family and all that stuff. So it does take a toll on you. So for those who had to travel this holiday season, I definitely empathize with you. I can't talk today. Anyway, Kahuna Tuna is pushing forward with his commander against Seraphim units, the Thams. He does not have a gun upgrade on that commander, so would like to see some sort of, upgrade, whether that's nano. If, I could just, wait 5 seconds, he will just go gun. So he's going to start gun. T2 does finish here for Once Handsome in the middle of the map. We'll see how that goes on. We have Cobra Commander here in the middle of the map going for his T2 upgrade, coming to assist Maximus's Calm, trying to push back Team 2 on this western side. And what's nice is that Cobra Commander has actually, solidified some sort of defenses on that western side, so essentially locking Quasor in his base. But he's teching up right now, so that'll give him a lot of eco to play with. He's gone T2 and he's building hoplites. I would love to see rhinos. Rhinos are a little bit, they're more beefy. They have more hit points. They don't do as much damage, of course, but rocket bots, those hoplites are not the best thing to use in terms of large numbers of Team 1. You really want a lot of slow-moving units with those missile rocket bots versus the faster moving units of T1. But the Calm of Once Handsome is starting to be under threat. Units are coming to engage here. We have bombers over the top here from his teammate of Chromatic Scale to help shield his commander. But those Mantis are just running by. They do not care what's going on. Pings do go down against One Handsome, saying, hey, the Calm is right there. And units do take a nice, swift turn. Once Handsome needs to get out of there. He's established a T2 facility. But those hit points are going down right quick. Once Handsome does start to open fire. He has a bomber nearby, but unfortunately with 14,000 hit points and already below 9,000, that facility is down. He has no veterancy on that commander. He is starting to fall very quickly. Units do not fully engage. We'll give somewhat of a break here for Once Handsome, and we do have a pincer movement coming in from additional forces in for Cobra Commander. This is going to be a kill here, folks, at 11 minutes and 17 seconds in this game. Bombers over the top trying to thin those numbers out, but it's not going to work. Veterancy still hasn't kicked in. Sub 1,500, sub 1,000, and there is the kill here at 11 minutes and 30 seconds in this game. Team 2 suffers the first casualty of Once Handsome to Cobra Commander. It does open up a nice kind of power gap a little bit in the middle of the map, but I wouldn't be surprised to see out of Chromatic Scale. But it is, of course, I think it's a no-share game at all. So, or at least share until death, which means that all of those units, all of those structures have been evaporated from Team 2. There is, of course, the reclaim to scoop up, so that'll be nice here for Orb and for Chromatic Scale. Looks like Orb is already bringing units onto station to deal with that. So, with the loss of a player does come an advantage with more eco. But we had a drop here from Team 1's Virus, and he's spreading his virus around the map in the form of those Aurora and all those other those fervors. They've done a not significant damage on Team 2's Chromatic Scale's base, but those T1 fervors are coming in by the 1s and the 0s. We have T2 mechs that almost died at 100 hit points left. We have the Calm of Larg over here to the east. He should come and assist at least a little bit. Have a couple of T1 PD online. We do have a couple of Stingers in from here as well. They're not engaging any units, but they are moving as we speak. Janice from Orb coming to deal with this threat. It is a nice drop. I have no idea how it was not spotted, but a strap bomber for Team 1's needs more Mantis. 13 minutes in this game. Takes out a T2 fully ringed mechs. There is a Corsair on station to help, shoo that away. But there are slow moving interceptors inbound with about a minute left on field before they go bingo. So that will be able to help deal with some of those incoming threats from those Corsairs. But this push out here from Chromatic Scale has essentially fizzled out. Team 1 has been able to deal with it, which essentially is what's happening down here for Team 2. So, at the same time, both those drops don't really go the way the other team planned that they would. But one bomber does survive, takes out one mechs. Won't go in for a second one, at least right now. There is one ASF on station here for Team 2's Blarg. The Team 2 does have access to T3 air technology. But the Strat Bomber is going to make another run for it. Here he goes. He's going to go straight for that commander. I don't know what he's going to go for. Goes after another T2 mechs and says, I am out of here. Here's that ASF on station. Oh, turns around. Probably not a good idea. Oh, two ASFs. Oh, get a bomb off. No, it does not, and drops it right on Team 2's Quasor's base. I do apologize if I'm saying your name on Quasor. I just like saying Quasor. I don't know why. It's just like Kahuna Tuna. It's kind of the same kind of vibe. But we have speed and range going down for Maximus. I saw stealth going on for Kahuna. So being able to hide himself from intelligence for now. Of course, vision will still spot him, but that's, again, for now. We do have a couple of T2 Stingers on approach here to this facility, but there's a T2 flak artillery station nearby. Deals with one of those Stingers. Let's see, the second one will die here pretty soon. Stingers don't do a lot of damage. Oh, that was a nice double kill by that AA emplacement, and there goes the fifth one. Unfortunately, doesn't really get a whole lot of work done, but Team 1's Maximus does appreciate the fact that he had some foresight to build that there. Does look like Team 1 has grabbed the northeast corner of the map. There was some sort of drop here earlier on, but has been fizzled out. You need to grab that last not T-Max, but that T2 wreck. That'll be great for his eco. In terms of ecos at 15 minutes, we have Team 1 at 586, Team 2 at 493. So Team 1 slightly ahead. It does look like Orb and Chromatic will share most of the mexes. Most of them do go to Orb. But T2 Janus over the top does take out some hit points for that T2 mex, but you need at least one more. Well, technically two more, but there's another pass is inbound. Okay, there it goes. Will it take out this mex? No. Oh, it does get it. Look at that. It just barely got it. So T2 mex for one Janus. Definitely will take that trade any day of the week. Not a lot of mass for a decent chunk of mass. And you take out, 6 mass a second, and that really eats up after a while. There are already energies on station, so it's not that much of a loss. But, any amount of time you can take out mass and it takes your opponent a while to recoup it, it's definitely worth it in my book. T2 hoplites on the eastern side here for Kahuna Tuna pushing against the T2 Ilshis. I would not recommend that. If those Ilshis come in range, all of these units are DED, DOA, DEAD, all of the deads. Maximus is building a Utashala and is going to rip through a couple of those hoplites here. Guncom is in range here and has T2 engineering suite, so a couple of more hit points. Hoplites do have nice range on them, but they loot what they gain in range, they lack in hit points. So not the best situation here for those hoplites. Team 1's Maximus probably would benefit from at least one T2 artillery, just to kind of lob a couple of shells that direction. But it does look like Team 2's Royal Purple Play of Quasor has been able to push with some T3 units of his own, some bricks, with additional hoplites. So Cybran players on Team 2 on the front lines, while additional players, of course, we have UEF, and Aeon, because we lost the player of Once Handsome, which I think was also a UEF, because there's only 2 left. Yep. So not really the best situation here for Team 2, but they are gaining some ground, and they are about to, well, it's going to take a couple minutes, but pincer maneuver Maximus Triple X on this eastern side if the forces from Quasor can move in across this land bridge. But he should take these units and go westward and go over here and try to take out Needs More Mantis' front line, open up a doorway here for Chromatic Scale to really establish himself back on this beachhead. And in terms of eco, once again, essentially 100 mass in favor of Team 1, 800 to 700. Not a huge difference, but of course that mostly comes down to the loss in Once Handsome's comm and units for that, 5 or so minutes that it took them to recoup all that mass and whatnot. A lot of mechs points that are not being grabbed. Does look like engineers are moving around to grab those. Should have been grabbed a couple of minutes ago, but there's no time like the present for a Book of Guns. And again, this is another game petition here for Book of Guns. Please change your names to Box of Guns. For some reason, for me, it sounds way better, but that's me. I am doing a lot better saying book instead of box, because last game he was in, I had to constantly say to myself, it's book, it's not box. Book, it's not box. It's book, it's not book. For some reason, Box of Guns sounds funny, and also, like, imagine you just happen upon a box of guns. So like, oh, that's cool. Versus a Book of Guns, where either it's a book about guns or there's guns inside of a book, but how big does that book have to be to fit multiple guns? Because usually you can only fit about one gun, maybe like an extra magazine inside of that book, and that's about it, not multiple guns. But T3 units assisting these T2 hoplites here, the bricks. Bricks are very tanky, of course. They're bricks, that's kind of in their namesake, but T2 Cerberus and a couple of Utashalas here from Maximus are able to hold off that push. The bricks not able to withstand that kind of firepower long enough for those hoplites to pierce that shield. I would like to see some sort of additional facility here on this eastern side and maybe have some missiles raining in, or have missiles raining in across this way as well. There's a lot of potential here for this upper ridge, causeway, whatever the heck you want to call this thing. Wall sections are nice, but you need some sort of fire base. Maximus is going to establish his fire base over here, which is fair, but I kind of would like to see it up here as well. Kind of a dual fire base scenario going on in the middle of the map. But that's just me. We are at 20 minutes in this game. Please like and comment down below who do you think is going to currently win. And remember, Team 1 is winning at 6v5 comms left standing. Team 1 is also winning in the mass game. Total mass accrued is also in their favor. It's just all the stats are in their favor. So again, let me know how you feel currently. That can change, of course, as time goes on. But in terms of mass per second for all of the players, Orb is at 272. We have Needs More Mantis at 284. Another couple 200s and mostly 100s for the rest of our players. So again, let me know down in the comments how you feel. And let me know how your Christmas went. Did you get what you wanted? Did you get what you didn't want? Did you get something you weren't expecting? Just let me know how you feel about Christmas. Oh, of course, and the New Year. What do you want to wish for yourself and others, or the channel in general, down in the comments for the New Year? Let's see what's going on. We do have a T2 naval facility online for Orb. I'm going to try to utilize that to push back Team 1 in the water sort of things. I think he's kind of fearful of this position. It's, kind of high up. You could establish a nice, forward operating base up here and lob some artillery shells or even missiles from that location, kind of as a secondary guard for Maximus XXX. It is kind of out of range a little bit, but, having something is better than nothing. That's what I like to say. Team 2's naval player in the west here for Chromatic Scale has been able to push back to the beachhead. I would like to see maybe a T1 land push here in the water, or maybe even, a couple of naval facilities just in the water somewhere else to kind of just pump out more units. Of course, they're going to be limited by, how far the ocean can go. But if you could get some Cybran T2 or even T1 engineers and build some Cybran facilities, you could start walking up those Salems. So, there are ways to improve upon the naval situation. You just need to devote the time and energy, which some players have and some players don't, to that sort of response. Of course, we are playing with players between 800 and 2,000 ratings, so a decent gap, a huge gap in terms of rating. So obviously we're watching out for Orb of 2,000. And, Maximus does play a very good game as well as the highest rated player for Team 1, so we'll have to watch out for him as well. Cobra Commander was able to snag that early victory against Once Handsome. And that actually is his mirror too, so he killed a player he was not technically fighting against directly, but that is the positioning in terms of mirror. T2 Intel is online, going T3 as we speak, being assisted by Book of Guns and being able to try to get that intel up and running. This is the range for the T2 on a 20x20. It is a decent section of the middle, but that is almost smack dab. I mean, that might actually be... it's really close. I think the middle might be like right here. Let's see, that's my mouse. Oh, it's pretty darn close to the middle. So I'd say props on to Book of Guns for choosing the nice opportune spot for putting that thing. Nice view on enemy movement. We do have a couple of cruisers in the water here. They are, of course, the UBF version, so they have missiles on their ships, being able to bombard the, beachheads and other facilities. T2 TMD needs to be put on immediately. Of course, those missiles are going to start raining in on those mechs here shortly. And as I speak, they are inbound, going for T3 ones first, trying to get the bigger, more value targets first, which I don't blame those missiles or for. You want to take out those T2 mechs. But it does look like they've taken out the mass storages, and there it goes. T2 Mechs is down. T3 Mechs is still online. Needs a little more than half its hit points knocked off. They've switched targets, unfortunately. I think they'll get the T2 Mechs, but they lose the opportunity to get the T3 one. So, it's something's better than nothing, of course. And this Mechs was almost done upgrading, so maybe that would have been a better one to go for. But we have a pseudo-naval engagement here in the east. Kahuna Tuner has some T2 floated units in terms of Wagners. Does have bricks underneath the water. We also have governors and a bulwark to protect them. So nice grouping of units here. T3 Solaces coming out here from Virus. I was going to say needs more Mantis, but he is Cybern. Those are about to invade here pretty soon. I'm waiting for the invasion to occur. Get a nice cinematic shot on that. ASFs are being built by both teams quite nicely. I don't think one team has a huge advantage over the other, but a massive spy plane operation is undergoing here for it needs more Mantis. But those units are coming in sooner rather than later, and those coming in for Kahuna Tuner will go this way instead of going all the way in the rear, trying to throw off their opponent, which is a good move. It's a nice feint here from the player of Kahuna Tuner, and here they come. They are inbound. T2 tactical missile defenses are coming online, but unfortunately, they are not prepared for the bricks and other units that are inbound. These Wagners, not as powerful as Rhinos, but they do get the job done. Here they come. Those bricks are sailing across that sea and then up that cliffside, and here come those engineer deaths. And we do have a couple of those sniper bots do a decent amount of damage. They are pretty weak, though, so they aren't feeling good. And, of course, more Wagners have come up from this side, so it's just a encirclement maneuver here by Team 2's Kahuna Tuner. Very nice movement here. Very nice tactical awareness here for Kahuna Tuner, taking on a huge section of that mass against Maximus. He has to pull all of his forces back to deal with this threat, even his comm, and that is now going to provoke an attack from his main force as well. What a dumb map, says Maximus. It's not that dumb. It's a decent map. It's different. And those units are being dealt with in the rear. Transport does go down, unfortunately, but it was just sitting there anyways. Those Ilshis are proven to still be annoying against those bricks. We have 1, 2, 3 Mechs down so far against Maximus Triple X. Pings go down for the shield. We have bombers inbound against those Wagners, trying to deal with them as they are inbound. But of course, we have a huge force coming in from Team 2's Kahuna Tuner. So pulled all the forces off the front line and are now moving in with the main force. All these forces need to go in. You need to commit and do this or not. You can probably take out the fire base. T1 PDs being spammed up in the back. There's a nice tactical move here from Kahuna Tuner, as I keep mentioning, but unfortunately, don't know if it had the desired effect it really wanted to. These T2 cruisers could have just stayed here and done a heck of a lot of damage against these infrastructure here. But, losing 3 mechs and 4 mechs is bad. It's really dropped Maximus's eco down to, let's see, where is he? Down to 150, 160, which isn't terrible. But a lot of that force was dealt with, at least on the front line. So unfortunately, Kahuna's move worked, but kind of didn't work. He does have more forces inbound here in the east. And it is a little bit weird that you can climb almost a, what was that, a 45, 60-degree angle with these bricks. But they're coming in one by one. He should see them on radar. And he sees them on radar. He doesn't, hopefully he notices them because there are more inbound. Spy planes are being shot down as they fly through the airspace. Do Mercies suck now? Truthfully, or what is? Oh, do Mercies suck now? The heck? Oh, I think Sergeant Red didn't get the update with the whole Mercies do suck. They're not designed for single fire targets. They're designed for AoE fire, which I kind of miss the Mercy snipes, but then again, I don't miss those Mercy snipe, so kind of a double-edged sword with that. But T2 Ilshi's T2.5 Ilshi's trying to do what they can to hold off this additional forces. Kahuna still trying to push. And he does a great job trying to deal damage, but unfortunately we have sniper bots that deal a decent amount of damage per shot. Going after these bricks. The bricks are being occupied by the Mercies. The Calm is getting a nice veterancy here. He's already at 1 star, going for 2 here pretty soon with all these Wagners. Nice overcharge into these would be great here to deal with that incoming firepower. We have some engineers on reclaim orders trying to scoop up what they can. And I don't know if they were trying to target those units directly, but that push has been dealt with. Bunch of T3 engineers building a Monkey Lord. Now this would be very bad here for Maximus. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that Monkey Lord could climb that hill, but we'll have to see, because that could be very dangerous for Maximus. He might have to fall back, and he's starting to move. Goes for that transport that's down, but looks like he'll move somewhere else. In the west, it does look like Team 1 and Team 2 have some sort of kerfuffle. And we have T2 forces in from Team 1. A couple of Rhinos get assaulted by Corsairs going after Mechs here. Pigeons under threat. A crab is being built instead of a monkey. There's some argument to be said about skipping the monkey phase. But monkeys are still nice to have, especially in this kind of situation. With only a couple of units left here for Cobra Command, it won't amount to a whole lot. In terms of mass, Team 1 is still in the lead at 1.7k, 1.6, sorry, versus 1.4 for Team 2. Now it's back up to 1.7. Kahuna has finished building that Monkey Lord, and will he send it in immediately? Yes, he will. And we're just going to sit back for a tiny couple seconds and watch this Monkey Lord climb this ridiculous hill. I'm going to see the path he takes, because he's not going this way like those units went, so we'll see where he ends up going.
Strategic launch
The Nuke has been launched. Hold on, we'll have to pull back. Nuke has been launched here by Team 1's Needs More Mantis while I've been focused on the front lines. He's been ecoing up for that Nuke. 30 minutes in this game. Where is it going? Probably against the player of Corsair. That is going to suck. We did have or build 2 SMDs in that time. There is an SMD. It is online. That Nuke will get shot down. Unfortunately here for Team 1's Mantis. That has got to hurt all of that mass and energy. Not wasted, but not being used to its fullest extent, of course. And that Nuke isn't even close to building a second one. That Monkey Lord looks like it's going to have to go all the way around. Probably into this point. So, you know, that at least saves Maximus a little bit. We do have units moving in to the west for some reason. There is a chicken now online for Maximus, so he's going to be able to defend his base. But Torp bombers in the terms of solaces are on their way. Did they spot the comm at all? I don't know. Their torpedoes drop and hit land. Some of them do, but a lot of them do end up going after Kahuna. He takes a couple of hits from those Torp bombers, but there were some AA in the area to help deal with the rest of them. So, you know, that's the only difference with solaces is they drop kind of a little bit before the target, and then they kind of come in like this instead of dropping in and going in. So kind of have to be aware of that. Probably should have them approach from the north, but there's a lot of AA in terms of actual AA and cruiser fire. So the only option was over Maximus's base. But the monkey does find a way up the wall or the cliffside here in the northeast side of Maximus's base. And he's going to start feeling the pain here. Ilshis are inbound. Or they should be inbound at least. Nope. Nope. Where'd they go? No, they're in the base. Okay, there we go. It's just in the mess of everything. There is a chicken defending the base. The monkey goes, nope, I'm good. Guys, move please. Guys, Guys, let me get to the water, please. Guys, let me get down there. I want down there. Get me in that water. There's a chicken on my butt. To the water for safety. But a bunch of artillery fire from these missile launches from these Governor class cruisers are just pummeling the shield generators and Team D defenses here for Maximus. He is just feeling the pain this game. Team 2 has, well, 1.5 of the pawns blocked off in terms of, they have most of it blocked off. Does look like that Monkey Lord will return at least somewhat back to base, but doesn't want to throw it back there just yet. There's a Fat Boy online, and that Fat Boy could just be positioned right here. Actually, probably right here and launch over, I think. I think you can launch that high up. We'll have to see. But Bricks trying to charge that front line once again. There's a lot of T1 PD that's been built up. The Bricks will try to stay out of range as best they can. Good move there. T2 Utashalas can't do a whole lot. There's just so many hit points on those units. It's really hard to deal with. The middle section of the map has been very fortified up. Lots of wall sections to mess with the pathing here for Team 2, so have to go around that. There is a megalith to the west here built by Team 2's Quasor, and now they're starting to make a play here for that western side. There's actually still some rocks here. Very surprising here at 32 minutes in this game. I don't rare to see that, honestly. There's that Fat Boy. It actually is opening its guns to fire, but does look like it can't shoot over this main tip here, but it can look like if it's positioned over here, fire at least over in this direction. So, something's better than nothing. Just have to position it better. ASFs are fighting in the northwest, or the western side, at least, of the front line. And it does look like Team 2 has air control. I wouldn't say dominance yet, because Team 1's tan player, Light Oak tan player does have, Sergeant Red does have some ASF still in storage, but doesn't have that much. So Team 2 is in the lead in terms of air, so that'll give them a nice advantage for now. We had something over here, but looks like it was dealt with. Oh, it looks like it was a transport. But that was dealt with. And I hear fighting going on. Still missiles raining in all the time. We have T2 Riptides on the surface of the water fighting those AA SAM launchers, being able to eliminate Team 2's SAM coverage. And there's another set of Solaces inbound. Do they see the comm? No. But they're going to try to guess who it is. Units like this aren't the comm because they move too quickly. I don't know if they can even see the comm. No, they can't even see the comm. Maybe Vision will let them see if they come in range. He's right there. He does have Nano on board. He does have gun, but no torpedo. Would like to see the torpedo. But a Atlantis in the water. Very interesting. Torp bombers do go after the T2 naval headquarters. Do they get it? No, they get half of its hit points. That's it. And that is going to be it for now. But T4 Atlantis in this water, hanging out next to a monkey. You don't see that every day. And the chicken is brought forth to deal with these bricks. It was forcing them back. The T2 point defense has been dealt with. Their Fat Boy is firing as fast as it can. Fat Boy, please, says Maximus. Needs some assistance there. He built another experimental. It's probably another chicken. And we have some gunships on station that are coming into view here pretty soon. Where's Team 2's air coverage? Well, they're over here to the west dealing with T2 Stinger. Actually, those are Renegades, not Stingers. But those broadswords are inbound. One of them does go down en route to its targets. But it probably will get the... Oh, no, it doesn't. It's going to go after the Monkey Lord instead. Fearing they don't have enough time. The Monkey Lord has taken a decent amount of hits so far. ASFs from Team 2's orb will deal with most of these. And that is going to hurt Team 1's book of guns ideas of winning this game against that Monkey Lord and Fat Boy. Fat Boy is now helping the Monkey Lord chase down the chicken. The chicken has taken a significant amount of damage. We have T3 Loyalists trying to just do what they can to shield this this chicken. But Ilshis are inbound to help assist with taking out the Monkey Lord. There are, of course, some Usha'az, with the sniper bots helping to defeat the Monkey Lord. Monkey Lord's done, but 2 more chickens are on station, and that is a lot of firepower for Team 1's Maximus, so that's going to be annoying to deal with. Looks like we had some Janus fire over the top of Maximus's base takes out a decent amount of, well, just nothing, essentially. They hit the shield generators mostly. They're going after the shield emitters first to try to weaken his defenses. But it does look like they're going after the assisting facilities. Those two are down. The main facility, the T3 landed quarters, is still operational. But it does look like the the chickens are actually moving in to get the Atlantis, it looks like. Which is very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before, where chickens are going after, stuff in the water, like at least like this. And that is gonna not feel great here. There is a bulwark trying to protect that Atlantis, but I think this will be the first time I've ever seen a chicken defeat an Atlantis unless they can get out of dodge here. There are some more Janus over the top here for Team 2 trying to take out those chickens. The chicken in the rear is probably the main target. It should go after first. It's very weak, but these two are nearby, of course. Take out that radar installation. Love to see that. That Atlantis does get out of dodge, so we'll be able to be safe. It needs to just submerge. It'll be perfectly fine if it does that, but it does have good AA emplacements on board. Oh, the humanity. The engineers are going down. We lost there, says Maximus. But technically you lost there a couple minutes ago, at least, to be fair, but I think you fully lost there at this point. Well, no, you have some air. Not a lot, but yeah, essentially it's not dominance yet, but it's pretty close. First chicken does go down here. I think the second chicken already went down. Yep, so the third chicken's still online. Ion Storm going off, dealing what it can, and there goes the third chicken. It is down. So I'd love to see it go after the headquarters, but again, taking out something is better than nothing. Those other remaining units from Maximus is not going to do very well here on this eastern side with no coverage and no bullet sponges. So they're gonna suffer. But there is a Galactic Colossus in the middle here for Team 2's chromatic scale, and it's going after this defense position in the middle of the map for Team 1. That's not going to last very long, unfortunately, there for Team 1. And I don't see any sort of effort to build anything super crazy. We do see artillery coming online here for Quasar. We do see T3 missile ships. Another nuke launch, this time from a different player on Team 1. It is from Book of Guns. So there's two nukes on. Well, looks like maybe he reclaimed that, possibly. I don't see it anymore, so maybe he just got rid of it. But needs more. Builds another experimental ASF fight over Team 1's base. Unfortunately, Team 2 has a higher number of ASFs, so this is just steamroll attempt. Over here in the east, there it goes. The comm is going to get on the transport. Will the transport is severely wounded. Will the transport get out in time? It does. That was a close encounter. I don't think it would have got him anyways. It probably would have singed him because the bulwark took some hits, but I think he would have been fine. But he's going to retreat. I just put myself in the water down there and call it good. Maximus is still holding on, considering there is a blockade around his peninsula section of the map, whatever the heck you want to call it. Artillery T2 going after the Atlantis that's not in the water. Very interesting there. And it's not moving, so might want to move that there orb. I do understand the AA, but I don't understand anyway, it's not really being used for its factory as well, so it's nice to have. That's all I have to say about it. But T3 missile ships are now on the coastline here, and that is a huge area of effect here for them. And the yellow is what they can hit, a huge section of Team 1's western side. There are some spy planes inbound for some nice intel gathering operations. There's skimmers near the water to help deal with any sort of threats in there. I hear something going on. There's another monkey and a fat boy trying to bombard this, upper plateau section of Maximus's base. We have some more of those. I think those are loyalists to try to barrel on through. And here comes that Galactic Colossus. T1 PD are coming in range, and that Galactic Colossus is not focusing on the right things, and it is going to die. A whole lot of loyalists were chasing him, and that PD is chewing through those hit points. Sub 30,000. It has 2 ranks of veterancy, almost the third. We have some additional Harbingers nearby to assist it. It almost kills off the Galactic Colossus, but luckily for Team 2's chromatic, it does end up getting out of dodge. But that chicken is going to try to chase it down, though. A chicken versus a monkey isn't usually the best scenario to be in. T1 PD is starting to become in range. T2 was in range, and it was taken out quite fast. T1 PD is in range, and that is going to be a kill against that against that monkey at least. And there goes that monkey, and if the chicken could get close enough, that Colossus will die. It'll be a 2-for-1 scenario here for Team 1's Maximus. There he goes. He grabbed it. That is a nice grab. It's a nice grab. Barely enough hit points left on that chicken, and we have some asylums. Going to try to assist taking out that chicken, but I think it has a decent amount of regen per second. It will get a nice amount of veterancy as well. Sub. Oh, will it survive? No, it won't, surprisingly. So there goes that obsidian tank, and we have some solaces on station to deal with something. A lot of AA they're flying through, so I don't know why they're going after. Are they going after this? Yeah, they're going after the Atlantis. I mean, are they going to get it? No, they won't. 6,000 hit points left. Still don't know why Sergeant Red's going after that. It's not doing anything, so not really a huge threat. I just don't understand why. But we have some T3 bricks coming on this eastern side. Oh, the Ion Storm's still there. Oh, takes out 2 of those bricks. Is that enough PD to take out the rest of the bricks? Oh, it is. So those bricks are they do not punch through. 2 PD are still online. One of them severely damaged. Look at that. But the invasion to the west has occurred here for both the likes of Quasar and Chromatic Scale. And we do have a monkey going to start bapping those away, trying to force them back. Again, it's not really going well for Team 2 on this western side. They've kind of been hemmed in the entire game. Team 2 has had a lot more efforts here, or at least successful efforts somewhat, on the eastern side. And they've had a lot of success in the air. So that's really their main avenue of attack would be, was with the air. They've held off the western side. They have 3 Torrent missile class ships, so they'll be able to have a lot of firepower in that regard. And you know, they're kind of just hemming in Team 1. I don't see any sort of big things. Of course, we do have the Disruptor online. There is now a satellite online for Team 1. There is a Mavor. Completely missed that thing. Oh, wow. That is really good for Orb. And he's... Stop building them next to nuke launchers. Stop it. There's another game that did the exact same thing. Stop doing that. I get it. You want to consolidate resources, but it's such a juicy target for Team 1 to shoot at. But that might be the kicker for Team 2. 42 minutes in, 43 minutes in. That Mavor is online and firing as fast as it could. It could fire faster, but it needs some more P-gens next door. And more shields. Love the amount of shields. Wish there were more P-gens, but of course, beggars can't be choosers, of course. Team 1 is going to notice the artillery coming in. They know about the Disruptor, of course, but the Mavor shells are going to hurt. But Team 1 has felt some of that wrath already. There it goes. The air grid has been demolished here for Virus. I don't see any sort of attempts to get into their own artillery game. I don't... Oh, no, over here in the west. One is already online. Second one is coming online. You know, it's going to take them a couple minutes, but it will. Mavor is now attacking the frontline player here for Cobra Commander. Don't think it's going after the SMDs, maybe? Yep, maybe that's what it's going after. This one will finish here. Shields need to pop online sooner rather than later in that regard. The surprise Maximus still hasn't been defeated, but he is currently staying strong as best he can. We have a third artillery coming online. Where's that coming from? Oh, I must have just missed it. The emissary right here. Why are you building 2 Salvations? Hold on. Is there a Paragon somewhere you're building that I don't know about? Now, if I was going to build something, I'd hide it somewhere. Where would I hide it? Well, back here would be a good choice.
Strategic launch.
Another nuke is launched. This time it's from Team 2's player of Orb. Where is this one going? It sounds like the artillery has broken through. It has. The SMD is down. This position is going to die. We have Cobra Commander. It's kind of in range, but not really. Both those shields pop offline at the same time. And now the artillery is now focused on something else. Looks like it's going after Virus's base. It looks like Virus is on the move, same as Book of Guns. This SMD has 4 missiles in the clip. I feel like Orb, as a 2000 rated player, has already done the calculations for the edge nuking, and he has. It is not in range, and boom, takes out almost the entire base here for Cobra Commander. Don't control K because you lose everything else. You might as well hand everything else over if you decide not to play. Artillery shells landing in, getting those quantum gateways, preventing more RASCOMs from being gated in. And that is going to hurt. There it goes. Oh, the shield pops online, but it doesn't save the T3 Mechs. That's got to hurt. Oh, man. And there's now artillery, of course, raining in from the western side from Team 1. Going after Disruptor here for Team 2. The shields are starting to buckle a little bit. But that shell was way wild, so that's not really great. Team 2 launches another nuke. Wow, how many nukes did he have loaded? He had 2. Going after Maximus's base. I'm surprised that base lasted as long as he did. It has no defenses. Maximus knows it. He's left a while ago. Seems like, yeah, he's all the way over here. So, kind of nuke game was, over at least for that position for a while. And that nuke is going to land. We'll take a look at that in a minute. T1 bombers are being amassed here for the airplay of Sergeant Red. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but the nuke goes down. Same with the quantum gateway. It's gotta hurt. A second Novax was being built. The first one does get back under shield coverage, but man, that's gotta hurt. Oh, kaboom! Takes out all of this core mass here for Team 1's Maximus as well. Team 2 is now still not in the lead. 2.1 thousand mass for Team 1 versus 2,000 mass for Team 2. We have a nice air guard protecting the swarm of T1 bombers coming after something, but there's a lot of air to fight through, and it's not really going to go well here for those bombers if they don't have a clear line of sight to target with nothing fighting against it. Those look like comparable ASFs are fighting one another here between our teams. It does, of course, assisting forces come in from Team 1 as well, so being able to kind of assist with getting a nice set of turns in constantly. Oh, it's not great. Here come Orbs, ASS forces. Where do they go? They need to go back in the fight. Where are you going? Oh, it's not doing great here for both teams. Looks like the management here for Team 2 is a little bit better. Reinforcements do come in the way. All of the ASS for Virus are dead, or almost all dead, and the ones for Book of Guns as well, but just the turns are way better for Team 2's Blarg and Orb. And that has got to hurt. They had the superior numbers. Had everything been transferred over to one player for Team 1, it probably would have been a lot better. Now those ASFs are just sitting there waiting to be killed off. That has got to hurt. Team 2 does retain air control for now. ASFs do pop up to help deal with this Team 1 bomber rush, but honestly, it doesn't really work against a decent amount of SAM coverage or AA coverage. It doesn't really work. And in the east, we have a couple of these broadswords running around, taking out a FAF war that they've tried to take out earlier. Now going after T3 Mechs. It's 47 minutes in this game with that Mavor online. If they cannot kill that, Team 1 has lost this game. It's just going to keep ripping through their shields till there is nothing left. Now there is, 2 artillery online here in the west for Team 1. Needs more Mantis. And the bases are just being ripped to shreds here. P-gens are going down constantly. Quantum gateways are going down. Novax still isn't built. Literally needs 66 more hit points and it's done. Kind of a missed opportunity there for Team 1. But the bombers, they try to do what they can against these megaliths, but they are doing some damage, to be fair, but they aren't getting a second pass in. And why was that? Was that a Duke shot? I think that was a Duke shot. Let's see. That's a Mavor. They're building another Stone Ager because why not? I swear I saw a Duke, but maybe that was just the Mavor shot. Emissary just pumping out more rounds as well. Salvation, almost in the yellow. Almost in the red. Almost in the green. See, I'm really struggling here, folks. Apologies for that. 48 minutes in this game. For those of you still watching, I greatly appreciate your eyeballs. That Novax does finish. Here it comes. That shell is going to land, and it's going to hurt. Team 2 launches another new Quantum Gateway, goes down. Team 1, do you have nukes left? I don't think so, because I think they all went up in smoke. And that's got to hurt Team 1. They have no sort of offensive capabilities. They have defensive ones, but not offensive ones. And I'm not going to speed it up just yet, because, you know, it can go one way or the other with a couple of teleports and whatnot. But I don't think Team 1's thinking about that at the current moment. Book of Guns, Virus, don't have telemaser capabilities. Cobra does. He's not going for that. Maximus is a Seraphim, and I think Mantis is one that could go it, but he's going for more. Like, he has built another nuke. Okay, so he's going to go in that regard. It decides Disruptor is not going to work out. Nuke does land, and maybe Maximus control. Okay, Maximus took control Ks with that. Essentially, he's lost his entire base. He won't be able to get it back. Everything else that he owns will go up in smoke. That SMD is going to go down, and it was not loaded. So not really a huge loss, but, you know, still have to build an SMD, so would have saved that amount of time at least. But artillery shells, you know, raining in from multiple players at this point. 50 minutes in this game, it is not going well. The shields did fall around that emissary though. Maybe that's a P. Oh no, that's a power issue. Yeah. Oh man, you gotta fix that there, sir. Sir, you gotta fix that there. That is a lot of power you gotta fix. But this position is holding strong. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. We have tele-defense. We have a bunch of RASCOMs nearby, gating them in constantly. They can't move fast enough to get out of the way for the next one to be brought in. And that is not going to go well. Those look like Quasar is killed off by P-Gens. Oh, that's got to hurt. Looks like artillery was able to peg him. Don't stand next to P-Gens, everyone, because volatile explosions are not healthy. But the entire western side of Team 1's front line, besides the Navy sort of thing, is now gone due to the departure of Quasar. It's a 5v4 in favor of Team 1. Team 1 does have some sort of momentum on this western side. They're losing the east, but they're slowly gaining the west. Team 1 bomber spam is slowly having some effect, but I don't know for how much longer. If that salvation comes online, which it just did, and starts doing a massive amount of issues, it is not going to go well. This thing will take out shields. This thing takes out shields, but it has a heck of a lot more damage on it. 203,000 mass killed just with that artillery alone, and I feel like it's not going for a Mantis, and there goes that. P-Gens up there. They're building a Scathus, I think a little too late on that, using the mass from the Disruptor to fund it, at least in partial matters. So, not growing great here for Team 1. They need some sort of big play. Mantis would have been good. Not Mantis. Scathus would have been good 10 minutes ago. Especially because that's when of course, the Maver would have come online, but I don't know. And so, power's off. Orb is having some issues with his power. He's just building a bunch of nukes, and that's sucking his power away. Oh, he fixed it. I think he stopped loading. What was he doing? I don't know what. Maybe he's assisting some of his air facilities, but yeah, that's gotta hurt. He pings, noticing that there are 2 Novaxes. Third one coming online here for Team 1. I don't know if that'll be enough, but Salvation Fire. I don't know if it's targeting the comm directly, but Sergeant is on the move. We do have ASFs from Orb. Maybe that's what's going on. Direct fire with the Salvation. Not a lot of damage, of course, on those things. They're designed to take out shields. They're just very annoying to deal with. We have 2 bugs and a Megalith T1 bomber is going to come in and essentially just rip through that Megalith's hit point. 7,000 left standing, and those bugs are still online. Oh, they're dealing with a bunch of those bombers flying around them. Strap bombers helping to deal with the bricks on the ground. The crab does go down, and the artillery is now being I thought it was being combined. Oh, no, it is being combined. Salvation comes in, takes out the P-Gens, takes out one of those Novaxes. There's 2 more left alive. That's got to hurt. Shields are being spammed up as quickly as they can, but they can't be spammed up super quickly because that Salvation will not stop firing. Team 1, you're facing down 2 different barrels, one rapid fire and one not so rapid fire, but it packs a punch. It's essentially the definition between a shotgun, regular shotgun shell spread and a slug round. So, slug round is mainly essentially used for one target. Shotguns can be used for multiple targets, but they're a spread. They're able to hit a lot with one shot. That's essentially the Salvation and the Maybor in a nutshell. And then the Scathis is just, I don't know, a watering can, just like dump a bunch of artillery shells. But it's now 53 minutes, almost 54 in this game. The game is going to end here pretty soon. Just in terms of the time code that I saw before I started this cast, this is not going well for Team 1, and I think I know which way it's going. A constant stream of units are inbound here from the eastern player of Kahuna Tuna, and those bugs are inbound, and they're going to deal a lot of damage. This one has repped up quite nicely in terms of its hit points, and the artillery takes out a second Novax satellite station. The third one is not feeling too good, and that those Salvation fire hurts to watch. They're going after, what are they going after? I mean, you could just go after the comm, but I don't know where those are going. Anyway, I'm surprised the Mavor shell isn't landing in yet. Kind of. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, it should be landing there pretty soon, but I haven't seen it. They're going after some mass fabs. That's a very good idea to go after. Take out Team 1's eco. It didn't do it. Are you going to make a decision and stick with it? But Team 1 has recalled from the match. They see the game is over. It was probably going to last another 5 or so minutes, but Kahuna Tuna and the rest of his team wins. Team 2 wins this game. 53 minutes and 2 seconds left on the clock. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and comment down below what your favorite moment of the cast was. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so to make sure you don't miss anything. Share this video with your friends, and of course, let's get on to the award of this game, MVP or MUP, depending on the player and the rating. We can't have two. We can't have an MVP and most underrated player. There can be that sort of thing. They can be the same player, different player, but there are matches where I feel like only one's really needed. And in this case, that's probably what I'm going to go with. You had Orb, of course, building the Mayboard that I didn't even notice because I was focused on a bunch of other stuff. But that was, of course, the tipping point for Team 2. Team 2's Chromatic Scale also built a Salvation and an Emissaries without a Paragon, which is very surprising. Usually, Aeon players build the Paragon and then the Salvation, not usually the other way around. And he was able to lock out the western pond the entire game. He lost the missile ships, though. So those might have been killed off later on, or I don't think he'd control K them. So, I mean, he lost them at some point, but they weren't really effective for very long, so it wasn't a huge loss. We had Team 2 in the east as well, locking out at least half of the pond. I would have loved to see something go on with this northern base with some sort of missiles or artillery or something to just annoy the fleet down here. 2 Atlantis built but not really used. I love the AA on them, which is maybe why Orr built them. He probably also built them for air facilities. He didn't really have a lot going on in his base. He had 1, he had 2, and that's it. Just 2. So maybe that's why he built them, which if that's the case, that's perfectly fine. But that's a lot of mass to devote to essentially mobile AA factories. Anti-artillery, not anti-artillery, anti-air and factories. So I would have probably liked to see more SAM sites, more T3AA, and just build a couple of air facilities and call it good, and would have saved a lot of mass in that regard. But hey, he's a 2,000 rated player. I'm not, so who am I to judge? Anyway, we had Cobra getting that early kill on one Sansom. That was a great move early on. Of course, it did just give eco to Team 2's other players, but, taking a player out early on is a risk. Just depends on how good the other players are in the game to kind of deal with that loss and how they deal with it and what they use and that sort of thing. We had Maximus. He held out for a very long time, almost until the bitter end, and then said, I got to go. See you, bye. He left the game, but essentially he had nothing left anyways, so his death didn't mean a whole lot. So he's like, I just want to watch and want to sit probably. Don't blame him there. But I don't really see anything super fancy coming out of Team 1, so I think In terms of most underrated player of the game, I think Chromatic Scale gets it. He's a 900. I see this being, I mean, at least a 1100, maybe 12. It's hard to judge rating, of course, but I'd say at least the couple hundred points at least. You know, Emissary, Salvation, locked out the, southwestern section of the map. Had a nice drop off early on. Like, those were both great plays. Assisting your teammate in the artillery game, especially building these, Salvation. He built a Mavor. A Mavor is really good. Even on its own, just that's it. But having the Salvation be able to come and take out the shields and then have the Mavor come in with the damage, definitely a nice 1-2 punch. So I think I'll give Chromatic Scale the most underrated player of the game award. Let me know down in the comments if you think so or not. And again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying your week between Christmas and New Year's. Hopefully you enjoyed your Christmas or holiday season. And I will see all of you in the next one.